Good morning out there to all my ZodiacTea sippers. Today we're doing a relationship compatibility video. We're doing a relationship compatibility video in between the people or couple or Kenya Moore and Mark Daly. Alright, so here is Kenya Moore for those of you guys who don't know what she looks like. She looks like a black Barbie doll, doesn't she? Oh. And here's Mark Daly. Okay, so we're doing a compatibility video and see if these two were really compatible and what their energies are going to be like together in a relationship. Okay. So, let's get into this tea. So basically we have Kenya. She have a life path of 7. And we have Mark. We have a life path of 1. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not going to use that for compatibility tools today, which they can be, but not in this video. Okay, so Kenya's sun is Aquarius, her moon is Sagittarius, her Mercury, how she communicates in a Capricorn type of way. Her Venus is Sagittarius, her Mars is Sagittarius as well. And then we have Mark. His sun is Leo, his moon is Sagittarius. His Mercury, he communicates in a Virgoian type of way. His Venus is Libra and his Mars is, okay, so their birthdays, I'm so sorry, I should have put their birthdays at the top. But they are both metal dogs. Kenya is a metal dog and Mark is a metal dog. Okay, so they both are the same animals according to the Chinese zodiac cycle, and they also are of the same element, which is metal. I will explain these numbers later, that 5, 1, and at 1.5, and at 3, and at 5.5. I will explain that later. Okay, so Kenya's birthday is January 24th, 1971. Mark's birthday is August 12th, 1970. Okay, so that's just a little overlay basically of their basic charts, as far as their zodiac or whatever the case may be. What I would say as far as the moon, both of their moons are Sagittarius, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, because for them to emotionally feel good, because the moon is all about the emotions. So for them to be emotionally secure, they love philosophy and traveling and exploring different things. The only issue is that if their hobbies are different. Now, if their hobbies are the same, this would be beautiful. But if their hobbies are quite different, then both of them can be dogmatic. Like, for example, if Kenya loves to do, like makeup per se, and it makes her emotionally secure to do her makeup, and she can travel and do makeup and blah blah blah, and Mark doesn't like it. So when you have a Sagittarius moon and you don't share the hobbies, he's like, man, doing that makeup is whack. You need to come over here and climb this mountain with me. And Sagittarius energy is kind of blunt, like, ew, I don't want to climb no mountain. It's too cold. It's too this. It's too, I'd rather do my makeup. So they can like bump heads having the same moon, okay? Even though, a lot of people say, being so alike can be a blessing. It also can be a curse. So what I'm going to do basically now, I'm going to talk about how Kenya loves, how Mark loves, based on their birthdays only, okay? And how a person loves based on their birthday, this person is going to carry that energy with them for the rest of their life. It doesn't matter who they intertwine with in a relationship, okay? This is basically how this person love, okay? And it's going to be based off their birthday. So we're going to get into how Kenya loves first. So her birthday is 1/24/1971, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about how, how she loves and how she look at love, or, So basically, based on her birthday, Kenya is the type of woman. She spends a lot of money on lifestyles, okay? They attach themselves to romantic situations with heavy complications. They don't mind seeing married people on the side if they wanted to, or step out of their marriage, okay? And at times, they're trying to save their partner. Okay, it's like if I could find something wrong with them, then I could save them and I could be the hero of the day. Like, they want to save their partners from their issues. Like if they have alcoholism issues, addictive issues, any type of issue, they just want to latch on and be a hero to save the day. But then when they're trying to do that, then they bitterly complain while they're trying to save them. It's like, you do this too much or whatever. I'm going to try to help you, but, they bitterly complain at the same time. All right. They do look out for their own interest. Okay. They can be very attractive. Okay. So it's noted. She's not an ugly woman. Okay. She could be these people can be very attractive or whatever, but they often seek out people who are really not meant to be with them. They often seek out deranged people. And it's crazy because if you have issues, then these people love you. But it's only detrimental to their own self. It's only detrimental to their own health. They will have a difficult love life. They have huge fears of abandonment and huge fears of betrayal. And it will manifest throughout their lives with ruptured relationships throughout their lives, be it with friends, family, and their spouses and potential mates. They also suffer from chronic indecision, whether or not to leave a person or stay with a person. They suffer from that. They don't know if they want to leave or stay. At times, actually, they can be thoughtless of other people's feelings, okay? But also, this person is very highly sexed. They love sex, okay? And they love romance. And they actually love romance more than marriage, okay? They can be very devoted to their children, but they are destined by a karmic contract, okay? By a karmic contract, they're destined to have one or more very challenging relationships in their lives. They have so high of ideals of love that if they're not careful, they're gonna crash really hard. Okay, so that's how she loves. That's how her love life is. For anybody really that's born on January 24, 1971. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a little bit about how Mark love. Well, and like I said, these energies stay with you throughout your life, and it doesn't matter who you get in a relationship with, you're still going to carry your same, personality and your same energy towards that person. It might mix different, but you're still the same, right? Okay. So let's talk about Mark here. So Mark, his birthday again is August 12th, 1970. And this is how he loves. Mark is really not physically faithful to his mates. Okay? He's just not that physically faithful. Mind you, note, physically. He's not really necessarily physical to a mate, but his moral and spiritual standards and his connections will be superior and very high toward his mate. They will defend their mates at all costs, okay? Even if their mate was a murderer or whatever the case may be. But they are prone to having many affairs, but they're very modest people and they love having a partner stroke their ego, okay? A main challenge for this person loves life is basically balancing career and love. They would rather a distant relationship and see their partners from time to time when time allows. Their work is a priority to them. They will experience lessons of having their partners closer than, rather than further, but that's lessons that they have to learn throughout this lifetime. Basically, this man should never marry, or whatever the case may be. People born August 12, 1970, they just should be a bachelor. These people are better suited for love affairs. Love affairs and flings more than a marriage necessarily, okay? If they find that true love, that perfect partner that will travel with them constantly and be on the move with them, you know what I'm saying? Then it'll be a little bit better. But basically, that's how he loves, okay? So now we're going to combine energies together, and we're going to overview their planetary energy charts. And I already have it. Okay, so basically you see some planets here. You see Moon, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Cosmic. Okay, I'm gonna kind of like explain like this means. So your moon, that's your emotions, your emotional stability. Are you comfortable emotionally in your relationship? Can you be able to open up to your partner emotionally? Venus is the love factor. Do you have pleasure in being with your partner? And it's just that pleasure factor and the good times you guys can share. Mars is all about either arguing in sex. So it's like, it does add to the having good sex. And if you're not really doing that, then it can lead to arguing if you're not mature enough in how to handle that energy. It is Mars. Saturn is restrictions and the teacher of the relationship, who's going to be the boss of who. Pluto is, who wants to wear the pants and who's going to be transformed throughout the relationship. Uranus is more like that friendship factor. Okay, and it's basically letting the person be who they truly are without the bullshit. Neptune is the good side of Neptune is that energy can be used to basically save the world or do something on a global level, or even as small as doing things in the community together. The bad side of Neptune is basically looking at a person through rose-colored glasses, not necessarily seeing them for who they are, or seeing them for how you would want them to be, and being deceived. Also, Neptune could be an energy of you're able to actually lie and deceive your partner, and by them looking at you through those rose-colored glasses, you could just get away with certain things. Jupiter is the financial factor of the relationship. It's like, who will be able to provide for who, or whatever the case may be. And it's also, other than finances, it can be like good advice, it can be counseling, or you're there to console your partner when they're going through, or you be able to give them great advice so they can get on with their situations. And cosmic is like, oh my God, are you my reward? You've been what I've been looking for a long time now, and you were definitely meant to be in my life throughout this journey. All right, so now that I explained, the energy planets, let's see what they have. It doesn't really look hot, right? Okay, so they only have one moon, so it's like they're not really confiding in each other emotionally. Not with that one connection that they have. They only have one moon connection. It's not good. Okay. Venus, they only have two. Mars, they're good sexually, but it's more of arguing. By looking at this chart, they arguing more than they're being emotionally confiding in one another and supporting one another emotionally. Is more of an argument. Okay, so Saturn, they have one. Uranus 1, Neptune 1, it's there. So the deception can be playing subtle roles in their relationship. And the Jupiter is there, but it's only one connection, just one. All right, so basically, with that one connection, guess what? With that one moon connection, Mark is Kenya's moon. So when Kenya look at Mark, she feels that she can be emotionally confiding in him, but he ain't doing it towards her. It's only going one way, honey. It's going one way. And Kenya, you confide in him more, you see it, but he don't see it for you. Venus. Kenya is Marcus's Venus. So when he do see her, he like, oh, it could be fun, laughs, and good times, or whatever the case may be. And they have two, so it goes both ways. Okay, it goes both ways, and that's good. Mars. So basically, Kenya is Mars. So when Mark sees Kenya, he sees sex and arguments, and it don't have to be a lot of arguments. He can balance it out. You know what I'm saying? But yes, he is very physically attracted to her. Okay, yes, he is. But if they don't tune this out, it's just bad. So basically, two of those Mars connections is basically more of Mark's energy going toward Kenya, and Kenya has one. So it doesn't balance out. They do have 3 connections in total, but it's more of, Mark being more sexually attracted to Kenya than Kenya is to Mark. But like I said, it's just 2 and 1. It'll be really fishy if it was like 6 connections and then it would have been 2 going Kenya way and 4 going Mark way. Okay. But all right, Saturn. So that Saturn, Mark is King of Saturn. Yeah. So it's like Mark is like the one that's, want to control things, tell her what to do, be her teacher and be her guide in this relationship. And by him communicating that in a Virgo type of way, you know how Virgos are, nagging and analytical and kind of bossy. So, it's not coming off in a way. And then that moon is not really strong, so that, I can see where the arguments are coming into the relationship. All right, Uranus, Mark is actually Kenya's Uranus. Okay, so when Kenya sees Mark, she does see a good friendship. It's just unfortunate that Mark doesn't see it that way. So if they split, he probably wouldn't stress about them being besties, or whatever the case may be. So the Neptune, Mark is Kenya's Neptune. So yes, Mark can deceive Kenya. Yep. They only have that one connection and it's going towards Mark's way. So, Kenya can see him through these rose-colored glasses. You know what I'm saying? And she wants him to be a certain way, or she's dreaming of him being a certain way. He's just not that way, or whatever the case may be. Okay. And Mark is Kenya's Jupiter. So she does look to him for finances. She does, she has her own bag, you know what I'm saying? Kenya more hair care or whatever. She has her own bag, but I'm just saying, like, Mark will be the provider. He is a good provider. He might not be a good husband or whatever is to her, because I'm not saying he's not capable of loving someone. It's just not really, popping off in the connections with her. Okay. And they don't have any cosmic, so they wasn't like soulmates and they wasn't destined on this planet or whatever. There's no cosmic energy going on here. All right, so anyway, that was breaking down a chart. So now we're going to get into when you add up their 2 energies and their 2 birthdays, you get certain cards, and these cards have certain energies. So I want to explain to you what type of energies that they have when you put these 2 people together in a union, what type of energy that you're going to be having, okay? So basically, when you add up Mark's birthday and then you add up Kenya's birthday, you get 2 energies, 2 main energies we're dealing with here. 4 of hearts, 10 of spades. Now look, the 4 of hearts is great. That's the 4 in numerology is foundation and 10 is power, right? Okay. But the suits change, okay? Now we have the 4 of hearts. It's the foundation of love and family and home life. This will add to the union, and it will add a beautiful energy, and it brings forth family and children. Okay, so we do know that they do have a beautiful baby or whatever. So, but also 4s can lead to stubbornness. One of them wanting to wear the pants, probably Mark, because as we see that Mark is King of Saturn or whatever the case may be. But overall, this is a good card for the relationship. What makes it kind of a little sad or bad is, okay, they got this 10 of spades. 10 of spades is all about working hard and the power to work hard. And 10 is power, and spades is, like hard work, but having also success in the hard work. Okay. But in regards to a relationship, they're always going to be working hard to stabilize their family. So throughout this whole union, and then like when you putting 2 people together, the energy not going to change. These cards are going to be that the energy of this union for the duration of the union. So there's nothing they can do to change it. So you have that good family energy or whatever the case may be, but probably as a family, but like Mark and her, by themselves, really not so good. They was probably gonna bring a child forward. When you're looking at like Two of Hearts, Ace of Hearts, Four of Hearts, and the Queen of Hearts, you're definitely gonna have some children in the mix, okay? But so that was brought into reality or whatever. But then the Ten of Spades, it's like you always gotta work so hard. They both are successful in their own right, but they always have to work so hard to have that, and then that leads to stress. If you gotta work so hard at something and you're working hard to try to build this family, then you gotta work hard behind it with that Ten of Spades or whatever. Even though they're both gonna be financially successful, that still brings stress or whatever the case may be. So that's not really, a good card to have for a couple as far as the Ten of Spades, because somebody's always gonna be super busy in their career or whatever the case may be, and you always gotta work hard to maintain that family. So that's them, and that's the energy of them together. Ten of Spades, Four of Hearts, right? So then we put that at the top. So when people get into a relationship, they kind of look at it differently, okay? You could be in that same relationship, but you could look at that relationship out of different lenses, okay? So I'm going to slide over how Kenya looks at this relationship. I'm going to slide over how Mark looks at this relationship, okay? For Kenya, what she's getting out this relationship, or how she's looking at it, is she has a Six of Clubs and a Seven of Diamonds, okay? And Mark has a Five of Diamonds and a Jack of Clubs. All right, let's talk about Kenya. All right, Kenya, what are you getting out this relationship? Seven of Diamonds is spiritual, financial values, and also, probably thinking about poverty. She don't wants to be impoverished in this relationship. She don't want to feel like she's losing money, and it's going to come up a lot of times in their union. She's going to feel like, a loss of money, or am I going to be poor if I combine my finances with this person? And the Seven of Diamonds is not good when they start thinking like that, because Seven of Diamonds is the millionaire's card, okay? If she flips that, around and think highly and be like, what, I trust in the universe to provide everything for our marriage. We're going to be good. And, and I don't know if they have a prenup or not. I don't know that, but it's like, she will probably want one. She will be a little bit worried financially. She'll be also draining him. 2, a Seven of Diamonds is the person that's getting financial rewards in the relationship, okay? So, and she'll probably be spending a lot of money and probably worry at the same time, like, not spending it and then not caring. And then stressing about it while you spending, making big purchases or whatever the case may be. This is going to be a problem in this relationship. That's what she's going to do. And then probably stressed about it or whatever the case may be. And she feels, when a woman has a Seven of Diamonds, she probably feel like that man is not making as much as he can, or probably a little depressed on the slick, like he could be making more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Mark does. I think he owns a restaurant. I don't know how much revenue he makes. I don't know. But this is the cards when you adding his birthday and her birthday, this is what you're getting. So yeah, she's gonna be stressed a little bit financially or what it may be. I don't know if they live in the Bill Gates, Kardashian type of lifestyle. I don't know, but this is what's coming out. Also, she has a Six of Clubs or whatever. When you have a Six of Clubs, when you have any six, it's karma, okay? And when you any six, I don't care what suit it is, but it's karmic. And the karma can be good or bad depending on how they lived in their past life. Now, we're looking at this Six of Clubs here. Now, six is karma, like I said, but the clubs is all about communication. So, in this particular relationship, Kenya gonna always have to watch her mouth, okay? Because in this particular relationship, if she gets out of hand and cursing him out, or being too flip or whatever with him, it's only gonna backfire to her, okay? And if he is talking to her any kind of way or demeaning her any type of way verbally, it is karmic payback for how she is in her life and how she dealt with her friends and family. So in this relationship, she's learning how to communicate better with people. Okay, I don't know if she's like the queen of shade or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but in this relationship, she's not gonna be communicatively as shady as she was in her past, because this man right here, he gonna let her know, like, yeah, we gonna go toe to toe. If you think you gonna talk smart and flip to me, baby, I got it back, right back at you. And she had to get some of that back because she probably treated other people like shit in a relationship, or her friends or family. Note that, because it might not be necessarily in relationships. She probably talked bad to her peers, whatever the case may be. And his job is to give her some of that karmic payback. That's what she's gonna get out of this relationship, being with this man. It ain't gonna end until the relationship ends. Like I said, the vibrations in the cards, they stay the same or whatever. So she's gonna be financially stressed a little bit, spending money, stressed about it a little bit. But if she don't think on the lines of poverty and she goes into the universe and she is spiritually inclined, I don't know if she's spiritually inclined yet. I don't know that. But if she is, she don't have to worry too much about finances. But it'll be like a subtle energy in a relationship. And her mouth with that 6 of clubs. So she always going to be like, watching. And then she probably noticed, damn, every time I be telling him off, I always run into something. Probably bump my damn baby too or something. Shit, ouch. Or whatever. And she gonna get it right. She'll notice it. Okay, let's talk about Maul. What Maul getting out the relationship? 5 of diamonds. We're looking at, 5 is like a roller coaster. It changes. Ups and downs with 5. It's 5 in numerology mean constant movement. So, and diamonds is material and money. So basically his money gonna be up and down out of roller coaster. And he's gonna, I think he pops King off when he can. I really do. It's in the cards. That's what he does. He's gonna pop his girl off or whatever the case may be. But Jack of clubs. A Jack in a relationship. This is Jacks can be mischievous and they can be cunning and crafty. All the Jacks. I don't care what Jack it is. All of them can be. The best Jack is the Jack of hearts. It's kind of like they more, sacrificial or whatever. But this ain't no hearts right here, okay? This is the clubs. And he is crafty in this relationship. He's verbally crafty. He can play mind games. The only good side of this card is, are getting along and they having fun or whatever. He can like tickle her and pick her up, take her for a little piggyback ride and stuff. He can bring out King's inner child or whatever the case may be if he played his good side. But the Jack of clubs is all about being, cunning and crafty, and calculating, on a person, verbally or whatever the case may be, as far as the communications. Also, Jack of clubs mean good sex. So, even though he might be, a little nasty with the time, Kenya is sexually satisfied with him, and I seen on one of the episodes, she was trying to be in the bed with him without the damn baby. I heard the baby be in the bed with him all the time or whatever the case may be. But, yeah, so, and then Mars, he is more, so he popping off the bird. You know what I'm saying? When he wants to or whatever. But then, as if you rewind this little video or whatever the case may be, he's not all the way 100% physically faithful. So we don't know if he have another little plaything or whatever the case may be. It's a high possibility based on how he loved, remember? But anyway, this is not, and what I find here, I don't see no hearts and their points of views. Her point of view, I don't see a heart. His point of view, I don't see a heart. It's basically about communication. They need to definitely work on communication. So it's him going to be more, verbally communicating to her ugly, and then she got to watch her mouth or whatever the case may be, because she's going to get that karmic payback. So, I never really heard them actually talk, but when I did, the cards don't lie, knock on wood, okay? So, anyway, let me explain those numbers, what I wanted to explain earlier. Another note, they both are metal dogs, okay? That's head-on collision clash, because they're so much alike. And, so it's all right. So when you think of metal, you think of something so hard like iron. And, they both stubborn. These are two headstrong alpha type of people that you're trying to put together in a union. So it's like, and they have the same elements. So it's like both of them want to try to lead the way. And one of them going to have to bend. I don't know who's going to bend. I don't know. But I did hear they split. So probably, that was... it's part of it, because both of them wanted to be such strong in their relationships or whatever the case may be. And they both metal dogs. Now, let's say, Kenya was maybe like a earth dog or water dog, she would have probably been more like a poodle, and he would have still been like that metal, like a Rockwaller pit. You know what I'm saying? Then it'll kind of like went a little bit better, but they both metal, so they both pit bulls and Rottweilers fighting and chopping at each other, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that's not good. All right, you guys. So any numbers here. So basically, in my relationships, I do attraction, intensity, and compatibility. The first number is that 5. That's the attraction. Okay, so to me, anything 3 and above, and this is on the scale from 1. The reason why I don't do 10s, I don't really hardly see 10s when I'm doing my relationship readings. Mind you, I do this for a living. I hardly see 10s and 9s. And I hardly see that. So basically, my scale stops. I know a lot of people do a scale of 1 to 10. My scale stop at like basically 7, like 1 to 7 or 1 to 8. Anyway, that's good. That's good attraction. So they are attracted. She is attracted to him. Like I said, for me to pass my relationship reading, it at least need to be 3 above, you know, for attraction. And for her, it's a 5. That's good. And toward him, for Mark, it's a 5.5. So he's slightly more physically attracted than she is to him, but it's not that bad. I see if he had a 5.5 and then she had a 3 or 2. You know, so they're both attracted to each other, whatever the case may be. So that's not an issue. 1.5, and he has 1.5. That next number is about intensity in the relationship. They both bring the same heat. 1.5, 1.5. They both bring the same, you know, type of intensity into the relationship. For me, I don't want, when I do people's relationship readings and it's anything over a 2, that's a high warning to come, like, you know, combative, like really stormy scenes. And I see bullshit with all the other little things that I went over as far as the cards and, you know, things of that nature and how they love. I see a problem with how can you love, and I see an issue with how Mark loves. So I saw an issue with that being combined or whatever. But, you know, the intensity 1.5, that's pretty good or whatever the case may be. But it still lies in the fact that they're not really that compatible, because I didn't like the fact they had a 10 of spades in the union. It's just hard work. Nobody wants to do that shit. All right, compatibility. So, you know, Mark has a 4, she has a 3. So basically, Mark probably think they could have worked it out a little bit more had she been his way and she had that little 3. Because when I do my readings, I want that to be at least, to be honest with me, I want it to be a 4 and above. Mark made the 4, Kenyon made the 3 or whatever. But that's, you know, but Mark is slightly more physically attracted than she is to him. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up by saying I don't necessarily agree with the union, and this is why I feel like it's not going to work. And these are my last final notes so I can wrap up this video, because I don't want it to be over 35 minutes, because I don't think people might want to stay that long or whatever the case may be. Because Kenya, the way she loves, like she attaches herself to crazy situations. You know, that's probably why it took so long for her to find him. If, you know, she should have just had like nice little love affairs along the way and just have her baby or whatever the case may be. And Mark liked long distance type of situations. And then another thing, they both metal dogs. I don't like that. That's too clashy. Maybe if she was another element, yes, I could see some type of connections with that or whatever. So that's 2 reasons. The way they love. Rewind the tape so you can, you know, you'll hear me spill it out. That's another factor I don't like. You know, that's in their relationship. And then like his side, that verbal craftiness or whatever. And then she wants to do it, but if she do it, it's gonna come right back at her or whatever the case may be. And then the money is like, you know, his money going up and down, you know, constantly, and she's stressing about it. It's really just not a beautiful, beautiful union. I would say this is a no-go. I would say no. I'm not saying, oh my God, no, run. You know, they could work it out if they wanted to. You know, if they really, really, truly wanted to, but I wouldn't advise, and I wouldn't give it. I'll say this is an okay relationship, and no, they're not soulmates. So that's my take on it. Deuces.